are video games starting to get easier? Like, over the years, are the video games becoming more simple? Are they becoming more of a story-driven thing than what they are more a difficulty thing? Like, let's go back to the PlayStation 1 days and the Nintendo 64 days. There was levels on some of those games. I know for a fact Crash Bandicoot, and this is actually what gave me the idea to make this video, is you go back to the Crash Bandicoot days and you would get stuck on a level for ages and ages and ages, right? Now, Crash Bandicoot in no means was an easy game. It was a very difficult game, and the way it was set up, I myself still have bloody issues with it. Not that I'm a really good gamer, but, you know, we won't go there. Anyway, you now get to the modern day, and they actually did the remake of Crash Bandicoot. When that came out, people were saying it was the world's hardest game and everything like that. Was all the headlines. The hardest game, world's hardest game. And it started to make me think, are video games getting easier? Like, majority of people can pick up a video game these days and it's more designed for like a social gamer or a casual gamer, and they just get on there, they play through the story and away they go. There is like certain games that do induce really hard difficulties and stuff like that for the hardcore gamers, but it's really starting to make me think, is this more for the general gamer and the general people in that genre, or are they facilitating for more of the hardcore gamers? When Crash Bandicoot got released, the relaunch, and everyone was talking about how hard it was, a lot of like gamers like myself came out and turned around and said, well, it's always been this hard. This is how it was, you know. But a lot of newer generations were starting to say, no, why is this game so hard? This is so difficult, yada, yada, yada. They've done something to it to make it harder. No, they didn't. In my mind, they did nothing to make it harder. That's actually how Crash Bandicoot was. And now with the new Spyro release coming up, you know, the trilogy, there is going to be some difficult parts in Spyro, especially the treetops level. I know there's one part you need to fly around. I think it's a castle and stuff to get that last dragon. Bloody difficult as all hell. But going back to the fact of like most modern games, like as a general rule, when you're busy and you're doing stuff, I'd try and squeeze in gaming with everything else I do. You know, that's what I try to do. And when I can sit down and just chill out, play a game, when you get to the difficult games, like a lot of people, it's either they don't continue to play them, or a lot of people gave up on Crash Bandicoot completely. I myself put Crash Bandicoot to the side because a lot more newer titles were coming out and I wanted to play those. So it makes me think, are developers and stuff just making games that are okay, they just pass the level, you know, just pass the bar of a good quality game, and we'll send it out. We won't make it too hard where people absolutely hate the game and they don't want to continue playing because they're not going to buy the DLC, they're not going to buy the microtransactions in the game, they're not going to continue with it. You know, that's why, another reason why I think about Fortnite, and there's a lot of theories I've got with that, and just like stuff that I've seen, stuff that I've heard, and the reason why like Epic Games are changing stuff so more the casual gamers can just jump in and play, and they're not making it so like the real good players stay really good. I'm not going to go completely into it, but there's a lot of theories I've got on that as well with when it comes to Fortnite. It really does make me think, are games more of a turnover thing that every year they're trying to pump out a new thing? Because a lot, like, attention spans of people have gone down dramatically. That's why like more road rage and everything is starting to happen. More road rage, people are impatient because we've got everything instant. And so you bring in difficult games, and people, the average gamer who don't like that, they're going to abuse that game, they're going to hate that game, and they're not going to play that game. So why are they going to go back? Why are they going to buy DLC for that game? Why are they going to continue playing that game? Why are they going to recommend that game to other people? And that's my debate. I reckon video games are actually getting easier. And I don't know if that's the reason, like as a general thing, but that's my personal thoughts on it. I actually think that that is the reason. They want a game that anyone can pick up, anyone can have fun. Like personally, I reckon, this is probably going to open up a can of worms. I reckon if Crash Bandicoot was never released back in the 90s and was released now, and it wasn't running off its pre-success, I don't reckon the game would have done so well in today's times. Now, before you jump on my back about that, the reason why Crash Bandicoot did so well was nostalgia. Honestly, I fell for it as well. I loved getting it. And I'm going to get the new Spyro release when it comes out, because I played that game like crazy as a kid. And it's coming out again. But I reckon if that game was released in today's times without having that 90s release back on the original PlayStation, I honestly don't think that game would have done that well. And it's just because a lot of people complained about how difficult it was. Like, heaps of people complained about it. And that was the part of Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot was difficult. It is a bloody hard game. No doubt about it. So, I reckon today's gaming, like, even another one to bring up is Dark Souls. Now, Dark Souls, I got the hang of that game in the end. It took me a while. Like, you need to do some grinding, and you really need to figure out how bosses work and just the things that they do. It is playable, and it can be a very enjoyable game, believe it or not, but it is a very punishing game. That did sell pretty well. Like, Dark Souls did do pretty well, so I'm not going to shit can Dark Souls, but it was one of those games that people complained about a lot. I actually love the fact the way the developers and stuff came out and said just get good. You know, if you're bad at the game, you complain about the game, get good. I laughed at that, but yeah, it seriously makes me think, guys, are video games getting easier? Do you guys think video games are getting easier? I do. Personally, I do. There is a select few games that do have very difficult levels in them and stuff, but I reckon that they're not as difficult as what they were back in the 90s and stuff. Like, I was playing games from the PlayStation 1 thinking, oh yeah, time has gone on, they're going to be easy now, because you develop, you're smarter, you think about things different ways than when you were as a kid. And it's not the case. These games are just as difficult as what I remember them back then. And it just is what it is, you know. It's the mechanics of it and things along those lines. I don't know. It's seriously got me thinking about that. And so, what do you guys think? Shoot your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think video games are getting easier as time goes on? Or do you reckon there's a nice mix of games? I don't know. I think a lot of mainstream games are getting easier, but I reckon there's still a select few games out there for the hardcore gamers that like the difficult levels. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this here. Until next time, peace.